Rapid assessment is a model created by Strategy Works to help you move through change quickly. Here's an example. In Tucson, Arizona, I was working doing HIV prevention for the public health department, and we were looking to increase the number of young people that actually came in for testing. So we created a brochure and a process, and we started to distribute them specifically in a health community center, a health center, a public health center. The young people then created some key indicators. They wanted to see if they were taken away, how many of those products were removed, and how many of the incentive cards were brought back. So the first month, they saw little or no response whatsoever. So they changed placement, color, they redesigned them, put them back. So they saw a little response. They felt that wasn't enough. So then they increased their placement, and then they decided to do a community distribution. They made little steps. Every time they made a step, they evaluated and said, okay, look at this. This is what happened. That's in the right direction. Let's do more of that. And in the end, we did see a significant uptick. I mean, a really large uptick in the number of young people getting HIV testing. So when I'm talking about reflection, we want to think about things. What did you do well? Not so much what was wrong, because that's always where we focus our attention. We don't need to do that. Mostly it's solution focused. What did you do well, and what could you improve? So if you did something well, what would you like better? What would you do better? Think about it in terms of solution focused rather than trying to always be problem focused. And then we do an assessment, right? We're going to say, what does the data say? What did we do? Did we collect data? Maybe that's your process. We can collect data. In one instance with very recently, in fact, we did a huge data collection process and we forgot to ask people's names. So we couldn't compare their particular before and after. It was one of those things, process assessment. Oopsie, let's do that. And then did you meet your objective? So when we look at all of the data and the outcomes, the interview, whatever you're doing to do the assessment, then you would ask, did we get what we wanted, or did we get someplace else? Do we need to change those? Then you point yourself in the right direction. After you've done your assessment, looked at your data, had conversations, whatever you needed to do, you figure out where you're at, right? That's where you're at. And then you say, okay, do we want to continue in this direction, or let's adjust just a little bit, figure out what those adjustments are. And then you would start in the next direction. And then you can start to really focus in on the next piece of change. Remember, this will never stop. You will do this all over. Again, it's continuous process improvement. To identify our next achievable outcome, and that is, how do you know that your adjustments are working, and are we clear that we need to go here, or do you need to change course and what we're measuring and go here? One of the potential outcomes, and this happens very often, especially with large behavioral health projects, is that you're doing something and you get an unintended outcome. You're like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. And then you can create and adjust, mostly because this is not a one-time deal. This is a process of change, which means you create and embed it systemically so that you're always doing this. Even in terms of board meetings, there are some boards that will do an evaluation after each and every board meeting to say, how did we do? Did we meet our outcomes? Is that what you expected? What should we do differently next time? It works really well. That is an excellent example of a rapid improvement process. Thank you for your attention. Good luck, and bring your questions to the next live session that we have.